So this weather station is specifically built for long-term use under extreme conditions, extreme weather conditions. And the main motive will be to gather high quality real-time data, as this will be made accessible to students who will be using an online portal such as website or an app. We have made provisions for that also. Now let's look at some of the specific types of AWS, I would say application specific types. So the first one is the general purpose automatic weather station. So this is the most general version of the automatic weather station, which generally people install in their backyards or on their rooftop. And this is the exact same weather station which we have built. Now let's look at the road and runway weather station. Now to talk about such kind of weather station, they are installed on the road and the runway just to collect specific parameters like pollution related details or air pollution index and other parameters also. So their application is only specific to road and runways. Next, this is Agromet weather station for agriculture. It is a very essential version of the general weather station, which has some specific sensors such as leaf wetness sensor, soil moisture, and temperature sensor. So this is specifically designed, or I would say tailor-made for agricultural purposes. This is a maritime observation system. So it is installed in the middle of a sea just to analyze the different weather currents happening in that place. This is TACMET, that is Tactical Meteorological Observation System. Now it is used for military purposes and generally at places where which are extremely heavy weather conditions are there, and it is specifically made for military purposes only. Now let's look at the project motivation. So there is a weather-based crop insurance scheme. So in that scheme, the government or the state government or the government of India is providing like reimbursements or for all the losses that has occurred because of natural calamities to the farmers. Now let's say like a government weather station is installed and it is having a range like let's say 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers. And out of that range, if the field is there or the farm is there where the crop is getting damaged, that kind of weather conditions are not getting captured by that weather station. So when they check for those actual conditions which were there at that specific place, they find it completely normal, whereas actual conditions were severe because it was out of their range. It was not captured by that weather station installed by the IMD. Okay, so our motive is to provide such kind of AWS which are feasible for farmers to install and record that data or report that data back to IMD. So as we know, there is a serious challenge of weather insurance involved. It is also called as basis risk, which broadly corresponds to the difference in weather experience at the location of the weather station and the farm, as I said. So the objectives, we'll look at some of the objectives of this weather station which we have made. So to ensure the education of students in meteorology and related services, since it's assuring a future weather literate generation, we and in this process we'll be identifying the different sensors and IoT technologies which we will be using and platforms that are going to be used on the station development to obtain enough background that the project requires. Then we'll be creating and testing a single weather station by the assembly of all the individual modules. And I have made it like an easy to use tool. So in that case, we can actually assemble all the pieces and create this weather station. It is very easy to set up. And the most important thing is we need to enable the visualization of live data. We should be able to access this live data from any place in the world. And also we should be able to study the past trends or the patterns which are getting followed. One more thing is like we want to provide opportunity for participatory and interactive learning for farmers and students with a view to transform them from being passive recipients of information to active IT users, because farmers are not educated in such kind of factors like AWS and all, and their children which will be studying in those schools, they need to be educated. Some kind of curriculum needs to be included. And one more important thing is we need to monitor the environmental trends, the climate change, and interpret the region specific, like hyper local data should be there for that specific region. So for this, we are planning to devise a course curriculum for this AWS with the help of IMD experts which we have. So this is the project timeline which we followed. And as you can see, we have pretty much completed the first prototype on time, and it's ready for installation and commissioning. So now let's look at the components which we have used in making this project successful. So the most important component was the microcontroller, which will be collecting all this data, processing it, and sending it to the cloud. So here we have used the particle photon Wi-Fi IoT development board. It is based on ARM Cortex M3, and it has a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi onboard module. Now, there is a weather shield which we have available. So this weather shield has onboard humidity, pressure, and temperature sensor. It has provisions for rain and wind sensor also via the RJ11 cable. And as you can see, there are connectors provided in between. That's exactly where the particle photon sits. Now let's look at the rainfall and wind sensors. These are the external sensors which will be exposed to the environment. The first one is the anemometer, and the second one is the rain gauge. Then we have the wind vane for wind direction. And this photo shows how like the internal structure of this wind vane, how it works. And it's basically a voltage divider circuit. So this is how the complete assembly looks like. We will be like, we have to connect those two wires to the weather shield, and all that thing goes into a casing. So for powering this weather station, we are using this solar kit. Now this help was done by Mr. Atul Kulkarni sir, who is a solar expert with whom we have collaborated, and he has built an excellent solar system wherein we get a backup of 2 days when there is no sun or even in the rainy season. Now to connect this whole system to the internet and make it accessible to the world, we are using a 4G network. So for 4G network, we have used a GeoPhy hotspot, which will be connected to the particle photon through Wi-Fi, and it will be sending data to the through API to the cloud. This is a junction box. We have different designs available just to give it a rating of IP65, which is near like almost waterproof. And we need such kind of junction boxes with IP rating 65, so as to protect those sensors and the weather shield and the GeoPhy router from the external extreme conditions. So now we'll look at the software which we have used. So this is the Particle Web IDE. So it is actually an integrated development environment. So this is the development environment in which we'll be writing the code for, or we'll be programming the particle photon. So it is, and the language used is C++. As you can see, there is an authorization required to access this web IDE. So this gives us a level of security so that nobody can access the microcontroller and program it according to their needs. Only the authorized personnel can access it and program it. So this is the final dashboard, or I would say the Weather Underground API or the website. Now this website was created by all the hobbyists around the world, and they have provided us this service for free, in which we can connect our weather stations to their website, and all these data will be reported live. Not just that, we'll be having a graphical interface also, in which the graphs are plotted and you can analyze the trend. It shows reports on a daily, monthly, and weekly basis also. Now, sending this data to server was altogether a complete complex task. So Weather Underground has a specific format of receiving the data so that it could properly show the data on the weather station's personal web page. Now, this station is going to be constantly updating and uploading the data. We have seen like the time required for sending each and every reading is happens with an interval of 5 seconds. Just because we are using the 4G network, we were able to achieve this. Now, Weather Station Underground is connected via Wi-Fi. So it will be possible to see the real-time weather conditions and to record each and every weather measure in each space of time. Now, this data which is recorded can be consulted every time from any part of this world using this Weather Underground station interface in a quick and intuitive way. So what are the additional benefits which our weather station has? So the weather station has been provided successfully with a self-autonomy power system. Since we are using a solar panel, we don't need to depend on any other kind of power source for that. This gives us the ability to move or set up the solar station or to set up the AWS wherever, which is the optimal place, and we can move it. So we have that freedom of setting up the place for the station. And also the photon has given the wireless capacity so that all the necessary things can be achieved anywhere and can be accessed from any part of this world. And this has helped us to avoid the use of electrical wires, which could have highly limited this project. So we'll look at these photos which show how this weather station was used in different countries under severe conditions. So we can see it has performed really well there. And now we'll be looking at some of the videos which we have for our weather station.
Weather station test setup running at my
So
place.
this is the first video which was installed in the backyard of Atul Kulkarni sir, where we have tested it. This, as you can see, it was raining heavily there.
It's raining outside. Weather station is working fantastic.
So that was a ground test, but then when we put it into the final practice, you can see this weather station. It is installed on the rooftop. There is this solar panel, and which is attached to the mast. You can see the all the sensors, external sensors are attached at the top of that. Now under this solar panel, there is a box. This box encases all the different temperature, humidity, pressure sensor, the weather shield, and the geofire router. So this is how the setup looks, and a similar setup will be installed in the schools. So we'll be looking at some of the excerpts from the Sakar Agro One initiative. Now, this is a great initiative which has which has been implemented by Sakar. They are publishing a weekly magazine related to all the weather-related or farming-related developments in the city as well as in the state. So in this excerpt, we can see like the people who are owning such farms or having grapevine yards. So they have discussed certain things here. One more thing is like they have in this article it was shared like how the different models of weather stations which are available in the market and their features have been mentioned. So we'll compare these models with the weather station which we are using, and we'll see what all features we have. So to talk about the first one, it is the Scalar station. As you can see, it is priced at 12,000 rupees. Now, when I compared this weather station with the one which I have made, it lags few things. One of which is wind speed and direction, rain gauge, 4G connectivity, and the weather underground API. So these are some of the very important things which we require in our weather station to make it available across the world. The second one is the Tracer weather station, which is priced at 20,000. It has it is lagging again the wind speed and direction sensor. The 4G connectivity is not there, and it is not having that connection to the weather underground API. And the final weather station which we'll be looking at is the Master. Now this model is priced at 60,000 rupees, which is a hefty price, and which is a hefty price tag, and it lacks the 4G connectivity and the weather underground API. Whereas all these facilities which we are providing in our weather station and our design is priced at 25,000 rupees. Now, these are the most important 10 commandments of product development which we followed. So we'll go through them one by one. The first one is to follow a disciplined approach. Now, I remember when we had that kickoff meeting, there we charted out a plan and we were disciplined toward it, and that was the main approach which we used to follow at that time. And even today, we have all the experts with us with whom we regularly consult for all the things which we require in our project. The second one is to learn to live with uncertainty. Now, at every stage of development, we came up with many things that were totally uncertain. Sometimes you are not knowing which are the parameters that affect actually the weather forecasting and all. So to this, we always tackled these challenges by consulting people and finding out the right solutions. We did our own research also for this. Second is, do not lose speed and sense of urgency. Now, as you can see, this time to market needs to be reduced with almost every product which is getting launched. This weather station is not new for such situation. So in this also, we followed a project timeline which I showed you earlier, and we were pretty much on time to deliver this product. Fourth one is, whenever you are stuck, ask for help and collaborate. So every time like I was stuck or some problems which were beyond my control, I used to collaborate with experts, especially the expert from the Indian Meteorological Department. Like they were there for help. So all the weather related parameters were discussed with them, and in what units they need or what units are followed by the Indian standards, and everything was discussed with them. Also, some technical things were discussed. Fifth point is apply what you have learned earlier to new situations. Now, definitely, I can see this. What all points which I have learned for in the development of a prototype 1.0, I have applied them extensively in the prototype 2.0, which made my work very easy. Now, sixth one is try out new things to conquer fear. Definitely, in the second prototype, you will see that we have attached two new sensors, and to bring that data online, we had to face many challenges, but we have implemented that also. Now, the seventh point is explore, experiment, and prototype. Yeah, this is something which we have been following right from the start. Like we have been exploring, we did the research, we read all the different resources which were available, and then we went to create the prototype. Now, eighth one is pay attention to detail. As I mentioned, like we need to everything which is in a readable format. It is not like we have the sensor output is something and we are not able to deliver it to the customer. He's not able to read it, so such kind of things need to be taken care of. So these are few details which we need to take care of, also from the technical side, also from the sensors perspective, where it will be installed and how and what will be the external conditions. Now, to look at the ninth point, it is also a very important one. Like, do not ignore any failures during development as random failures. It is not like we didn't face any kind of failures during this development. There were two, three, but since we were able to solve those problems, we took care of them, we didn't ignore them, and hence it helped us to make the prototype 2.0 a more successful one. And the 10th one is go and see. This is the most important point. Like wherever this AWS will be installed, we need to practically go and see like all the conditions are fine and it is working, and it is a perfect deliverable to the farmers. So let's discuss something about the new prototype, that is the AWS prototype 2.0. Now it has these two additional sensors. These are soil related sensors. The first one is the SparkFun soil moisture sensor. Soil moisture is measured in volumetric water content in percentages. So this is how it looks. The next one is the DS18B20. This is a pretty standard industry grade digital waterproof temperature sensor probe, which we have used for measuring the sensor temperature of the soil. And this is how the external installation metal frame structure looks like for 2.0. As you can see in the below frame, the solar panel will be installed. At the top of that, we'll be installing the weather station. And in the video, you might have seen like we are using a plastic junction box to place all the sensors as well as the microcontroller and the GeoPhy thing. But for this prototype, we have went for a completely like steel kind of encasing, and it looks professional also. So this is the output of the sensor, which is seen on serial monitor. This is for all like debugging and technically seeing whether all the sensors are reporting, and it is getting reported with an interval of 5 seconds. Now, to put the data of soil sensors online and make it accessible to the public, we are using this ThingSpeak dashboard for monitoring these sensors. And this is the Weather Underground API, which I was talking about. And the place where this prototype is planned to be installed will be this Gram Mangal. So this is how the interface looks specifically for that AWS 2.0. Now, to talk about the conclusion, like what all things we can conclude from this whole project. The very first thing is this product's design, this weather station is reproducible and scalable. As we were able to reproduce a similar prototype and a more advanced one in the AWS 2.0, and we will be able to scale it according to the needs of farmers. The second point is the project has given an enormous impulse to implement IoT solutions in countries such as India. Everything is getting connected online, and IoT is at a boom right now. It has been demonstrated that these solutions are not only valid for developed countries, they could serve as a basis for countries' self-development. Like in this one, when we are helping farmers and their students, and then we are educating them related to this AWS, I think this lies a path for the development of the country itself. and a valid modular weather station has been successfully designed and is implemented, and for other like coming few months it will be implemented in more schools, so that more students and farmers could use it as an easy to use tool, and it promotes a weather literate future generation. So I would like to conclude with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sainath, and lovely presentation, short but sweet. Friends, before we go for question and answer session, I will request Mr. Vijay Ghate, he is ex-Philips R&D, to give comments and talk about 10 commandments for successful product development. Over to Mr. Vijay Ghate.
Thank you, Vilas. You are able to hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Okay. First of all, Sainath, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
I think you have really picked up the essence of what I written in 10 Commandments. I'll tell you a story, a quick story of 10 Commandments actually. See, as Vilas said, I started my career in Philips working in product development in 1973. So long time, I think more than 45 years now, I'm associated with product development. That's the only thing I have been doing. So after my job in Philips, then I had a consulting company where I helped some reputed companies in developing products for them, companies like Tata Telecom, AT&T, and so on. And then I shifted to software because I had never worked in software before that. So I shifted to software in 1998 or so. And then I kept learning new things. But throughout all these periods, while I was working myself and I was working with various customers in a consulting assignment, I kept a habit of noting down what we found in a project, in a product development project. Why did it go wrong, or why did it not come up to our expectation? Just at the end of the project, I used to have formal, informal sessions with people who are participating in the project, and I used to note down. So about 10 years ago, I made a list of things which I call do's and don'ts of product development. So that list that you saw today is derived from my do's and don'ts of product development. Now, once Vilas and I, we visited Vijnan Ashram, and there I spoke to the team about successful product development activities. And there Vilas said, why don't you name these do's and don'ts as 10 commandments? I said, yeah, good idea. And I did that. Vilas circulated that to several contacts of his. I also kept on using it while I was providing training. I was doing consulting to various development teams. I refined them further. But I think that list is an essence of what I learned about how to make product development predictable, how to make it ruggedized, reliable, and productionizable. So that's what I have to say about these 10 commandments now. Maybe I will talk in more details sometime later. But again, congratulations, Sainath.
Thank you, sir. And definitely your list was a complete one and an exhaustive one, like which we can apply in any sort of project. And I've seen it, I've followed it from point to point, and definitely it will help, and it has helped me a lot. And it will help other people also who are following this path of product development using your principles. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Sainath. Vilas, over to you now.
Thank you, Vijay, for this introduction. And definitely we will have one day the product development session for SMEs as well as students. So now the forum is open for question and answer, and Sainath is ready to answer. So please identify yourself and ask your question.
Sainath.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am part of this forum. So my question is, what is your marketing strategy? Are you able to market your product successfully? Or do you need any help?
Presently, since we, as I mentioned, we are working it for kind of a non-profit thing, but say, when it is a case of marketing, we have seen, like, whenever we have presented this project for an open market, we have seen people coming back to us and asking whether they can have a tailor-made version according to their needs. So in that part of development, I think I am presently working extensively, like, to make it a tailor-made one. Like a few farmers, as we have seen in the second prototype, have demanded for soil sensors and all. So once we integrate that, I think we'll be able to ship to them also. So in such case, when I got a feedback from the present feedback which we are having from the market, I think it's pretty much applicable, since because there are two factors. One thing is the price tag, which is the most important thing. And one more strategy which we had is, like, if four or two or three farmers come together or buy this weather station, they can install it right in the middle of an intersection of their farms if they are close to each other, because my weather station is having a range of 1 kilometers. So this one station can support multiple farmers also. So that is also one of the strategy where they are thinking of installing it and applying it. So I think it is very much applicable to the market.
No, it is applicable to market. I'm happy that you're already doing something. Are you connected with Agriculture College or Vasantdada Sugar Institute or Ethnosugarologist institution or such associations? Where
I think we are in talks with them with the help of Rabresher also, because that is some kind of industry connect which I'll be requiring, and we are into that presently after the first prototype. Okay,
Vilas is already helping you fine, but if you want any assistance, I'll be happy to share my experience with you, because I'm already connected with the sensors about agro industries. We make about 30,000 sensors a month.
Okay, that is something great.
I think we are not interacted at all till today, possibly, but
yeah,
if you need anything, I'll be happy to share my small experience. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sainath has just completed his education, so he will take some industry experience, and probably if he thinks he can go for his own business. Discussions are on, and definitely, Vishwas, we will take your support for making Sainath a self-employed person. Because I have already connected him with one of the industry who manufactures weather stations, and we'll see with the collaboration whether we can do something. And the discussions are on to making a cost-effective weather station. So we'll go for next question. If please shoot out.
One moment, Vilas, if you don't mind. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Please repeat. Please repeat.
One moment, I have to say something.
Please go ahead.
Sainath, are you connected with any defense suppliers or defense? There's a team of different DMAS association in Pune.
Okay.
The defense has a big requirement.
Oh, that is. I think that will be a potential input wherein we can explore that.
There is a lot of potential, because moisture sensors and whatever you are shown today has got a lot of potential. And my last sharing today, at least, is please go in for a standard product first, then making it tailor-made, because tailor-made takes a little time.
Yeah.
If there is something which is off the shelf available, we will be able to market it faster.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, right now I think he is offering off the shelf. So we will go for next question.
Hello, I'm Bangal.
Yeah,
I would like to know what efforts you have taken to maintain the performance of a sensor, and whether these sensors are replaceable in case they are to be replaced by the user.
Yes, I would like to answer that. Since it is a module-based weather station, so we basically these are modules. Okay, so we integrate them and make it as a complete weather station. So whenever a module has some issues or it's not performing according to the need, then we can just hot swap it, or we can remove it and replace it with a new one. So yeah, that functionality is there in our weather station to replace the sensors. And as you said, to maintain,
it is to be completely changed. I mean, it's not individual sensors cannot be.
Replaced. Individual sensors can be changed. Like let's say tomorrow you see that your readings for wind vane or weather or anemometer is not according, like it's not up to the mark or it's not performing well. So you can just change that specific sensor. All these sensors are coming in the form of module, so you can just disconnect that module and connect it with a new one. So we have that functionality.
Like temperature sensors and the moisture sensors, etc.
Yeah, you can
What
change
is the
them.
typical life of those?
Since the first prototype which we are using specifically for schools and it is made for educational purposes, the life is expected or it is claimed to be for 2 years. Like for 2 years it will perform extremely well.
Because like dust particles sitting on it, the temperature range may not be suitable for performance of that, and all these things need to be looked into. I mean, I hope you have looked into them.
The very first thing which I can call it as a stage, which was design input stage. So in that stage, we first analyze the place or to the market which we are approaching where this will be installed. So we have took care of all the extreme conditions, the highs and lows of the temperature, as well as other sensor readings, and accordingly we have selected the sensors. Like let's say if you were to supposed to like install this weather station in Ladakh or some extreme condition, then we need to change the sensors according to that. But since presently it will be installed in the tropical climate, we have selected sensors according to that specific range or operational range where it needs to be installed.
Because I see at many places the weather stations are just lying like that, and they are not used because something is not available and all that thing. I mean, I hope this the weather station will be working full time and over the long years.
It will work over the period of time, an extended one, because not just the hardware part we have taken care for the software part also, like the interface which we are using. If you can access that interface, you will get to see
software, etc. I do agree. I mean, you must have done it nicely. I'm not an expert in software, but software can be at. I mean, there are many experts to do the software and correct it and all that thing, but especially the input, I mean the sensors, they have some limited life, isn't it? And they need to be replaced. So do you have any suggestions to the user that you need to replace it unless if you see the performance so and all that thing?
So the present in the present situation, like for the first prototype, as I mentioned, it was for educational purposes only. So in that case, as I said, there is a life of 2 years. So we are shipping that to the customer or to the like farmers or the students or the schools in which it will be installed. So there they can take it into consideration, like after 2 years, if they need the readings to be accurate, then they need to do that kind of maintenance of changing the sensors. And to compare it with whether it's functioning well or not, we will be placing it like for testing or maintenance purposes, we will be placing it just beside the one which IMD has installed, and then comparing the readings. And we have done that, so we can say like, okay, it's working fine right
now. And last but not the least, I mean, do train some people around the station, around your station, so that it will be more useful to them.
One more thing I wanted to put up is like with this weather station, we have created a manual also for using this weather station, which contains all the technical details. So with that, I think although we will be teaching them how to use this will also support
training them. The person is necessary. Otherwise, it's I mean, just until they approach you or your industry or some person, they are not using it. So it's not it's a loss of data. So do train some people around your weather station where you will be installing. I mean, it's part of educating the people.
Definitely.
Today being Teachers' Day. I took my
oh, happy Teachers' Day to everyone.
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gongal madam. Yeah, we will be training people around, and definitely that is needed and good suggestion, but we have already taken care. Not only training, we are creating a textbook for the school children, and 7th, 8th, 9th standard will be taught. Dr. Jeevan Prakash Kulkarni from IMD is writing a book and Vijnan Bharati's support is there. Mr. Date is working with him, and a textbook will be created consulting some of the teachers, and it will be taught to the students in 7th, 8th, and 9th standard. So
That's
that
very good.
plan is also in place. And book Mr. Dr. Jeevan Prakash Kulkarni has already taken care. It will be edited, and very shortly the book will be available. And
So
along with the book, it will be inaugurated in the school. This particular weather station. That is what the plan is, and we are waiting for the book to get complete and take care of everything in line. So we will
That's a
go
good
for
news.
next question. I think Mr. Nawate would like to ask. Please go ahead.
Hello, Sainath. Congratulations for developing this.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Kiran Nawate.
Yeah.
I have one question that you said the equipment has a range, maybe due to Bluetooth technology we are using, of 1 kilometer as such. Can it be transmitted further using a simple mobile technology where it is grabbed by the mobile with an IP address and sends out to another IP address and could be a group like that? Have you thought
Yeah.
of it?
Yeah, I'll explain it. The very first thing is like we are not using Bluetooth. It's a pretty much weak protocol for supporting such kind of weather stations. So we are using Wi-Fi, and the reason why we are using Wi-Fi is to connect this to the internet. Okay. So now once we connect this to the internet, all the data is pushed to a website. Now this website has a mobile app. This website can be accessed from the mobile, from laptop, anywhere in the world. So once it is available on the website, you can access it sitting in any part of this world. It doesn't matter. So it will transmit the data directly to the server and make it accessible to any part of this world. We don't need any kind of connectivity issues will be there. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
It will be visible world over.
Okay, understood. Very nice, sir. Thank you.
Any further question? We have a donor of this project, Mr. Ramesh Telang, and he was kind enough when we shared the idea. So we would like to listen to Mr. Ramesh Telang. Telang sir, please go ahead. Oh, problem. I think we have Mr. R.V. Kulkarni, Vijnan Bharati's president, with us. We would like to listen to Mr. Ramesh Kulkarni. Please, sir.
Yes. I was I was listening to the presentation very carefully, and every time I had a single thought in my mind: how is this going to work in the schools? What information the students are going to get? What enlightenment will be there? And all such types of questions. And how delicate is the instrument? Because the students would like to touch the instrument, see the instrument, and so on. So whether it is protected from students so that its functioning is not hampered because of the students. So any arrangement is made for this, and or for school purposes, do you have a separate equipment for demonstration purpose?
Yes, sir. I would like to answer that. The very important point which we have put up is like since this will be installed in schools and this students are inquisitive, I think that is the very purpose which we have designed. Like since these students are children of farmers, they should know it, they should touch it, they should be able to create their own modules by integrating them. So I think as an integral part of their curriculum, it should be dismantled and taught to them how to arrange it, how to connect it, bring it online, and see what all the different parameters are there involved, so that in future when they become farmers, they will be very much literate about these things, so that whenever they see such figures coming from the government or the state government, they'll be able to take better decisions. So I think that is a very important point which we need to inculcate in their curriculum. Another thing, yeah. Yeah, another thing is like since you mentioned like these sensors are like delicate and all. So as I said, like it is the external sensors which we have a guarantee for 2 years, like it will work perfectly, as well as the internal sensors. So I don't think there is any issue with the delicacy of this weather station.
Yeah,
Thank
see,
you.
this particular weather station will be installed and mounted, which will not be easily reachable for the hands, but they can see and check, and they can touch it also. But if they overstretch it or play with it, then it will get damaged. And though the 2 years guarantee is given, it is by the manufacturer's guarantee. But in reality, this weather station will last up to 10 years. And sometimes due maintenance will be needed, that will be taken care. I hope we have answered your questions. Please go ahead, sir. Your mic is muted. Please unmute the mic. Please unmute. Yeah, go ahead.
So when do we propose to install these weather stations in the schools?
Yeah, right now, sir, we are
Approximately.
completing the book. As soon as the book is ready, we will be installing it in through Vijnan Bharati's support in Garware school. And the another unit we are going to install in the Palgar's Dr. Ramesh Panse's Gramamangal location. So these two locations are fixed. So we are getting requests from many places, and we are appealing donors to support this noble cause. So we are just waiting a book to get over. Hope it is clear.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions? Mr. Telang, are you there? Are you able to talk?
I want to say something.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
I'm audible. When the Vijnan Bharati people approached along with Mr. Vilas Rabde, what triggered my mind is the farmers' children are coming to a lot of these basic schools. And like if you catch them young and teach them the importance of the weather station, they can plan their own agriculture crops, I mean, everything, they can do it systematically. So this, when the proposal had come to me from the Vijnan Bharati for toward the students' development, I voluntarily came forward and I said that even in future, if you require additional funds for completing the project, they can always look up to me for doing that, because they are doing an excellent job. And as a senior citizens in the society, I have felt my my duty to be supportive to such a noble cause. Thank you, Vilasji, for taking that initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Do we have any more questions, please? Yeah, we are waiting for more and more questions to come. Okay, I think thanks a lot for your participation, active participation. I will request all the attendees to become the member of Tech Forum and help us taking this noble cause forward to the society. We have many more mandates. I will be sharing our leaflet with you, because it's a platform we have created for givers and takers. So we will be supporting industry, taking up, supporting the engineering college projects, training them, teaching them. Our faculty, Mr. Vishwas Kale, has conducted several training sessions for engineering colleges. We are trying to make the engineering student project a marketable project. And this is an ideal example, I must say, that with the help of industry, because there is one industry in Pune who supported Polychem for this. Sainath was trained for 6 months in that industry. They supported his project in all respects. Mr. Vijay Ghate supported with his 10 commandments, and the guidance came from many to support Sainath for making his project a great success. But we should not forget the Herculean task and efforts put by Sainath are really paid in a product development. And I can say that we have pioneered this project development process with the help of experts. And this can lead to many college student projects. And I am sure, though I am making a tall claim, but it will help for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Because if any such difficulties are taken, definitely it can be solved. Like Mr. Vishwas Kale suggested, there is a huge requirement in defense for such weather stations. definitely I will take forward this through DIMA, because we know DIMA people, and we'll see whether we can support and one of the industry can manufacture this. We have already identified one industry in Pune who is manufacturing weather stations for farmers, and we will introduce this design as a cost-effective solution for schools. And our plan is to install such 5 stations in this year, and next year we are planning 25 such weather stations with the help of CSR. But let us have the first aim fulfilled. And Mr. Ramesh Telang, thank you very much for your active support and support for the future. Definitely we will be going. And second project was offered by Mr. Apte, Prakash Apte, who was the MD of Syngenta, the seed manufacturers. He has given some suggestions, and the donation of 50,000 rupees, and the second station is also ready and it will be installed. So more and more donors from the society are coming once they see the work, see the utility, and see the education value. Definitely it comes, people come forward and support this noble cause. That is my experience. If you are doing a good job and good project, money is not an issue. This is what I have experienced during the development of this. And we need students like Sainath to do such job, because you have to put all your efforts, heart and everything, heart and soul in the project. I think Mr. Vishwas Kale make few comments on the. Arvi Kulkarni, please go ahead. Yeah, Vishwas Kale also want to say. Yeah, go ahead, Arvi.
See, we will be writing a letter to the management of Maharashtra Society regarding the usefulness of this project for the students. And I think you, Mr. Vishwas Kale and Vigyan Bharati will sign it jointly. And we will do the administrative procedure so that there is no hassle in installing it at the right time.
Yeah, definitely we will be doing that. Ramesh, I'm in touch with Mr. Ramesh Date and we will do the needful. Mr. Vishwas Kale would like to say something.
So, Sainath, I am on the advisory board of MIT. MIT, that is Maharashtra Institute of Technology. They have got a center for such projects. If you want any assistance or any funding or government schemes to be availed of, it's a very good conduit for you. If you are interested, you just send me an email. I'll guide you how to approach this MIT and put it in touch with the CEO of that institution if you're interested.
That will be very much helpful, sir. I'll do that. I'll also approach for that. Yeah.
And this message is for anyone who's interested. If you've got any projects where the funding or government schemes or place for working, anything you want, you can approach me. Send me an email. I answer all the emails. Don't worry about that. Please do that.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vishwas, for this timely support to the new entrepreneur, because this is one of the bottleneck of new entrants in the business, and definitely this incubation from MIT will support the entrepreneurs.
And my little friendly advice to Sainath, I suggest that you join hands with a number 1, number 2 who are already making this, and join with them, and maybe you can charge them for your royalty or something, and you can jump very fast than dropping into dark, because they're already in the field. They know what marketing strategy is needed, what is to be done. So you can just keep aside a little of your self-ambition slightly. You can go faster with that.
Definitely.
Sainath has already joined Ashay Measurements.
I
your presentation about his sensor development. So
have you already made an MOU or something?
No. It is in the discussion phase. Sainath is a student right now. He has just completed his education.
Also, that is why MIT and such forums will help you in getting this very quickly.
Yeah. No, he has just finished his education, taken up a job with Accenture, and he want to have some industry experience and then look into the business opportunities. That is what his plans are. But we have already connected him with the Ashay Measurements, who has developed this sensor indigenously. So right now, sensors that we have used in the present weather station are imported. But already Ashay Measurements have developed this, and in the third module of the weather station, all the indigenous sensors will be used, where Sainath will be playing a vital role as a consultant, because he cannot spend except Saturday, Sunday. So we will be getting it manufactured at Ashay Measurements, the third weather station.
No,
but definitely we want.
My question was, have you already signed an MOU with them or it's still open?
No MOU signed. No MOU signed. We have just shared whatever he is doing, and Shantanu also has guided him. Shantanu Pendarkar from Asha Measurement.
No. So if you are still open, you can still explore other opportunities also.
Yeah, definitely. Because see, this was a project. So we asked everyone from this field, and there are very few people. So Dr. Mali from IMD, Dr. Jeevan Prakash Kulkarni from India Meteorological Department, Shantanu, then some industries, Vijay Ghate for his successful product development inputs like 10 commandments. So help came from all the angles, and his project became a success. And at the same time, we must appreciate the support given by one of the industry and KBT Trust. So for making this a grand success, because unless he works with his own hands in small scale industry, it is very difficult for him to convert his ideas into reality.
Okay,
That's why we must have, yeah.
I'll conclude only by one statement. So Saina, you just let me know what exactly you're looking for point wise, and whatever is possible from me, I'll share with you.
Definitely. And one more point I want to bring it to everyone's notice, like I was very much fortunate, like right after my engineering, I had all these experts with me, and I was doing this internship with Pune Polytronics in Pune, and they are also expert in such kind of products. And along with that, I was introduced with Ashay Measurements, who is an expert in manufacturing these weather stations. So I think I have like very much a great exposure in this industry, and I think this will help me a lot. Definitely.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Alegaonkar, Mr. Charudatta Alegaonkar supported from this industry. And Asha Measurements. These were the two industry partners in this project. And of course, the experts from IMD and Mr. Vijay Ghate came to support this project in all respects. Mr. Nawate would like to say something. Please go ahead.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yesterday only, there was a launch program with Cornell University of USA and Government of Maharashtra. The name of the project is Cornell Maha 60. They are going to incubate, and the incubation team is from Cornell University. They will be having offline as well as online program for 1 year, where they would be guiding such people who are coming with a very different product, and it is in the queue is quite large, but they are selecting 60 this year. You can just key in Cornell M Maha 60, and you will find the website and information. There is a very small form which one has to fill, and after that, if he is selected, he would be trained free of charge, not a single pie to his account for spending. But Cornell University experts in entrepreneurship development will work with this group and individually also to guide. And secondly, if the project is doing well, means according to the whatever are the projections, then they are going to fund it totally from different things like venture capital, angel investors, bankers, and everything would be coordinated by Maharashtra state government. So if he takes advantage, or any other person who is listening to this can go to the website and register his own idea, and if it is fulfilled, then all the support would be available free of charge. Moreover, Cornell University will be giving certificate after completing this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nawate. Tech Forum is aware of this Cornell. Rather, in last meeting, Mr. Vishwas Kale shared some input about this Cornell, and definitely we will guide the new entrepreneurs like Sainathan for this project. Definitely, we will do that. And thank you very much, for providing this input. Do we have any more questions, please? I think we have come to an end today, and I must appeal to most of the college faculties. I could see Mr. Dr. P.B. Karandikar from Army Institute of Technology participating. I have invited many faculties from various engineering colleges to attend this session, but looks they are quite busy. I'll be sharing this session and recording with them, because it is quite an inspiring for students and definitely inspiring for the faculties also. And they must take up this input, and we will be making a SOP, standard operating process, for making a successful project with the help of Mr. Vijay Ghate and others. And we will put a document that how not to make a project and how to make a project, so that that at the appropriate locations they will avoid doing wrong things. And I'm sure this particular project has given Tech Forum a new height, supporting the education industry and supporting the students who aspiring for making a project and making it marketable. So I must thank Vigyan Bharati for excellent support for collecting funds on behalf of Tech Forum as well as on behalf of everybody, because that is a NGO and they have ATG facility. So donors are getting the income tax rebate in that. I must thank RV Kulkarni for considering my request and suggestion for handling this project. And I'm sure with the help of Vigyan Bharati, we will be able to complete the target of 5 such weather stations in this year. And of course, with the futuristic donors. So there is a third demand coming up from RV, where there is a Earth Satellite Station and they have a science club and science center, and a lot of farmers are around. So we are considering to have our third weather station in near RV, Junnar district. So let's see how the things come forward. So I must thank Sainath and all the participants. It is 11 o'clock in the morning. I request once again to all the participants to become member of Tech Forum and support this noble cause. You can get the details from our website as well as from the leaflet. And it's a platform that we have created for takers and givers, as well as for students and industry academia interactions. So program is over. We will be meeting after 15 days, that is on 19th of August. And Mr. Gautam More will be talking about medical electronics, biomedical instrumentation. And it is going to be a very interesting talk. You all are aware that there is a COVID and emergency in most of the hospitals, and patient have to go to the hospital and get him checked. He has developed a patch which is connected to the mobile via Bluetooth, and all the inputs of your temperature, body related inputs are fed to the hospital. So patient need not go to the hospital, and the hospital can declare from their own website that this patient need not come to the hospital. He doesn't have corona. He is not a corona positive. So that production is going on. He will be sharing the success story of his product development. So we have lined up so many cases of product development for just inspiring the student class as well as new entrepreneurs. So thanks a lot for today's participation, and we will.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Sainathan. We will meet on 19th of August at 10 o'clock in the morning. Bye bye. I declare the program is over, and we will meet once again after 2 weeks. Bye.